The Chiss Ascendancy occupies a pivotal place in the Star Wars expanded universe, a realm that remains shrouded in mystery despite its significant impact on galactic affairs. Situated deep within the unknown regions, the Chiss have cultivated a unique and formidable civilization that operates largely outside the purview of the more familiar galactic powers centered around Coruscant. Known for their disciplined military strategies, advanced technology, and a culture of secrecy, the Chiss serve as a cornerstone of the narrative, particularly in the context of the Yuuzhan Vong invasion, a defining event in the galaxy's tumultuous history. The Chiss society, guided by the rigid structure of the 9 ruling families, represents an intricate balance of power, politics, and military prowess. Their societal framework, though rigid, allows for remarkable adaptability and strategic foresight. The Ascendancy's capital, Scylla, a frozen world with underground cities, exemplifies their resilience and resourcefulness. The Chiss military, often led by tactical geniuses like Mithra Nuruodo, known to the wider galaxy as Thrawn, embodies a level of precision and effectiveness rarely matched by other factions. Thrawn's ascendancy to prominence, first as a Chiss officer and later within the Empire, underscores the duality of his loyalty, a commitment to his people, and a broader vision for galactic stability. The unknown regions themselves are a vast, uncharted expanse filled with navigational hazards, strange phenomena, and countless civilizations unknown to the galaxy at large. The Chiss have not only survived but thrived in this environment, leveraging their advanced navigational technologies and unique force-sensitive navigators, called Skywalkers, to traverse these treacherous territories. These navigators, predominantly young Chiss females, utilize a latent form of force sensitivity known as third sight, which diminishes as they mature. This rare ability underscores the Ascendancy's reliance on unique, almost mystical resources, blending their technological acumen with an understanding of the metaphysical. The Chiss Ascendancy's calculated approach to diplomacy and conflict sets them apart from other galactic powers. They maintain a doctrine of non-aggression, engaging in preemptive strikes only when a threat becomes imminent. This philosophy, known as expansionary defense, highlights their emphasis on maintaining peace through strength and strategic deterrence. However, this restraint is not without its limits. When faced with existential threats, such as those posed by the Yuuzhan Vong, the Chiss demonstrate their capacity for decisive and overwhelming action. The Yuuzhan Vong, a race of extragalactic invaders, mark one of the darkest chapters in galactic history. Their arrival in the Star Wars universe disrupted the delicate balance of power and exposed the galaxy's vulnerabilities. Unlike any enemy encountered before, the Yuuzhan Vong possessed an intense aversion to mechanical technology, relying instead on a wholly organic technology that was both terrifying and highly effective. Their ships, weapons, and even their armor were living organisms, bonded to their users in symbiotic relationships. This biological warfare presented a unique challenge, rendering traditional tactics and defenses obsolete. The Yuuzhan Vong were more than mere conquerors. They were zealots driven by a fanatical devotion to their gods, the pantheon of Yuno. This religious fervor permeated every aspect of their society, from their military campaigns to their rigid caste system. Their objective was not merely to conquer but to reshape the galaxy in their image, eradicating all traces of the technological dependency they viewed as heretical. Their invasion, known as the Yuuzhan Vong War, spanned several years and brought the galaxy to the brink of annihilation. The Chiss, with their strategic position in the unknown regions, were among the first to encounter the Yuuzhan Vong, though their interactions remained largely undocumented in the early stages of the conflict. The Ascendancy's initial response was to observe and assess this new threat, gathering intelligence and preparing for the inevitable clash. This measured approach exemplified their pragmatic worldview and their commitment to safeguarding their territory without unnecessary provocation. As the Yuuzhan Vong invasion progressed, it became clear that the galactic powers, including the New Republic and the Imperial Remnant, were ill-prepared to face such an unconventional enemy. The Chiss, however, possessed a unique advantage: their familiarity with the unknown regions and their understanding of asymmetrical warfare. Their contributions to the war effort, though often subtle and behind the scenes, proved invaluable. Thrawn's legacy, in particular, played a crucial role in bridging the gap between the Chiss and the broader galactic community. His insights into Yuuzhan Vong tactics, combined with his deep understanding of art and culture, provided a rare window into the psychology of the invaders. The conflict with the Yuuzhan Vong forced the galaxy's disparate factions to unite against a common enemy. Old rivalries were set aside as the New Republic, the Jedi Order, and even remnants of the Empire joined forces to repel the invasion. This coalition, though fragile, demonstrated the resilience and adaptability of the galaxy's inhabitants. The Chiss, true to their nature, operated as both advisors and combatants, their actions driven by the cold calculus of survival and the preservation of their way of life. Throughout the war, the Yuuzhan Vong's impact on the galaxy was profound and far-reaching. Entire planets were reshaped or destroyed, and the political landscape was irrevocably altered. The fall of Coruscant, the galaxy's shining jewel, symbolized the depth of the crisis. Yet, amid the devastation, new alliances and understandings emerged. The war served as a crucible, forging a stronger, more unified galaxy, albeit one scarred by the horrors of conflict. The Chiss Ascendancy's role in this saga illustrates the complexity of their character. They are neither wholly altruistic nor entirely self-serving. Their actions, guided by a blend of logic, tradition, and necessity, reflect a civilization that understands the stakes of galactic conflict and the cost of inaction. The Yuuzhan Vong, for their part, serve as a stark reminder of the galaxy's vulnerability and the importance of vigilance against external threats. This intricate interplay between the Chiss, the Yuuzhan Vong, and the wider galaxy enriches the expanded universe, offering a narrative tapestry that explores themes of survival, adaptation, and the indomitable spirit of diverse civilizations. The Chiss Ascendancy, with its unique perspective and capabilities, stands as a testament to the enduring power of strategic foresight and the value of maintaining a balance between isolation and engagement in the face of existential challenges. Their legacy, intertwined with the fate of the galaxy, underscores the importance of unity and resilience in the ever-evolving story of the Star Wars universe. Their culture, deeply rooted in tradition yet adaptive to change, highlights the nuanced approach needed to navigate the complexities of an uncertain and often hostile galaxy. The Yuuzhan Vong's incursion, though devastating, ultimately serves as a catalyst for growth and transformation, reshaping not only the physical but also the philosophical foundations of the galaxy. This dynamic relationship between isolation and integration, conflict and cooperation, remains a central theme in the ongoing saga, reflecting the enduring struggle to find balance in a galaxy perpetually on the brink of chaos. The Chiss Ascendancy's calculated approach to threats and their measured interaction with the wider galaxy during the Yuuzhan Vong War highlight a civilization that thrives on the edge of the known and the unknown. They act as a sentinel force, vigilantly guarding their borders and stepping in only when the balance of power tips dangerously. This delicate balance of isolation and engagement raises profound questions about their broader role in galactic history and the survival strategies of civilizations in the unknown regions. The Yuuzhan Vong War is a case study in how external threats can force long-standing rivals to set aside their differences and cooperate. The New Republic, initially reluctant to recognize the scale of the threat, found itself overwhelmed by the unconventional tactics and superior technology of the Yuuzhan Vong. Their organic technology, immune to traditional forms of sabotage and countermeasures, turned the tide of battle repeatedly in their favor. Planets fell, millions perished, and the galaxy's confidence in its leadership and military power was shaken to its core. Enter the Chiss, whose involvement, though not overt, became critical in the war's latter stages. While the New Republic scrambled to mount an effective resistance, the Chiss provided invaluable intelligence gathered from their earlier encounters with the Yuuzhan Vong in the unknown regions. The Chiss Information Network, a clandestine operation run by the Ascendancy, worked behind the scenes to relay strategic data to the galactic forces. Their spies and operatives blended seamlessly into the broader galactic framework, often acting without the knowledge of their allies. Thrawn's legacy loomed large during this period. Though deceased, his strategic doctrines and extensive records on potential extragalactic threats became a blueprint for resistance. Thrawn had long predicted the possibility of an invasion from beyond the known galaxy, and his preparatory efforts, including the establishment of secret bases and stockpiling resources in the unknown regions, provided the galaxy with critical advantages. His earlier service to the Empire, often viewed with suspicion, was re-evaluated in light of his foresight regarding the Yuuzhan Vong. The Jedi Order, re-established under Luke Skywalker, faced a unique challenge in confronting the Yuuzhan Vong. The invaders were utterly devoid of a presence in the Force, a phenomenon that confounded the Jedi and rendered many of their traditional methods ineffective. This forced the Order to adapt, exploring new ways to connect with the Force and understand the Yuuzhan Vong's place within the cosmic balance. Some Jedi, such as Jacen Solo, embarked on deeply personal journeys, seeking to bridge the gap between the Vong's alien spirituality and the Force. Jacen's eventual discovery of the unifying force, a broader, more integrative understanding of the Force, proved pivotal in countering the Yuuzhan Vong's spiritual and psychological warfare. The Chiss, although not Force-sensitive as a rule, recognized the importance of the Jedi's role in the conflict. They worked closely with the Order, sharing their observations and insights. This alliance, though pragmatic, highlighted the mutual respect between two groups often at odds with the broader galactic mainstream. The Chiss admired the Jedi's discipline and commitment to peace, seeing in them a kindred spirit of sorts, though their methods and philosophies differed. As the war reached its climax, the galaxy faced a series of critical battles that would determine its fate. The fall of Coruscant, a moment that symbolized the vulnerability of even the galaxy's most fortified world, galvanized the remaining forces to unite. The Yuuzhan Vong's occupation of the planet marked a turning point, as their efforts to reshape Coruscant into a grotesque mirror of their own world, Yuuzhan Tar, pushed the galaxy to the brink of despair. Yet, this very act of hubris exposed the Yuuzhan Vong's vulnerabilities. Their overreach, combined with the growing unity of the galaxy's forces, set the stage for a counteroffensive. The Chiss played a critical role in this final phase. Their fleets, though not as numerous as those of the New Republic or the Empire, were surgical in their precision. The Chiss expansionary fleet, led by skilled tacticians who had studied Thrawn's methods, launched coordinated strikes against key Yuuzhan Vong positions. These operations disrupted supply lines and forced the Yuuzhan Vong to divert resources from their main offensive. Meanwhile, the Jedi and their allies, including the newly formed Galactic Alliance, prepared for a decisive confrontation at the heart of the Yuuzhan Vong's power. The battle culminated in the liberation of Coruscant and the shattering of the Yuuzhan Vong's military might. Key figures, such as Jaina Solo, who earned the moniker Sword of the Jedi, played instrumental roles in turning the tide. The conflict's resolution, however, was not merely military. It required a profound act of understanding and reconciliation. Through Jacen Solo's connection with the living world of Zonama-Sikat, a sentient planet tied to the Yuuzhan Vong's history, the invaders were offered a chance at redemption. Zonama-Sikat became their new home, a place where they could begin anew, free from the destructive cycle of conquest and fanaticism. In the aftermath, the galaxy was left to pick up the pieces. The Yuuzhan Vong War had reshaped its political and social landscape, forcing a re-evaluation of long-held assumptions about power, security, and the nature of the Force. The Chiss Ascendancy, having played its part, withdrew once more into the shadows of the unknown regions, their mission accomplished. Yet their influence lingered. The lessons of their discipline, strategic foresight, and adaptability continued to resonate throughout the galaxy. The war's conclusion also marked a turning point for the Jedi. Their experiences during the conflict led to a more holistic understanding of the Force, one that encompassed not just the duality of light and dark, but the interconnectedness of all living things. This philosophical evolution, driven by figures like Jacen and Luke, prepared the Order for the challenges yet to come. The Yuuzhan Vong, for their part, embarked on a path of renewal, their violent past giving way to a more harmonious existence under Zonama-Sikat's guidance. This resolution, though hard-won, underscored a central theme of the Star Wars saga: the potential for growth and redemption, even in the face of unimaginable darkness. Through their involvement in the Yuuzhan Vong War, the Chiss Ascendancy demonstrated that survival in the galaxy requires not only strength and cunning but also a willingness to adapt and collaborate when the stakes are highest. Their contributions, though often understated, were vital in ensuring the galaxy's survival and eventual recovery. The legacy of this conflict, and the role played by both the Chiss and the Yuuzhan Vong, would continue to shape the galaxy's future, serving as a reminder of the importance of vigilance, unity, and the enduring struggle for balance. The conclusion of the Yuuzhan Vong War marked a pivotal moment for the galaxy, but its repercussions continued to ripple through the fabric of galactic society for decades. The Chiss Ascendancy, despite their measured withdrawal from the affairs of the broader galaxy, remained a critical force in ensuring that the unknown regions did not once again become a breeding ground for threats capable of destabilizing the galaxy. In the war's aftermath, the Galactic Alliance formed from the remnants of the New Republic, and allied forces sought to establish a new order that could endure the challenges of a post-Yuuzhan Vong galaxy. This was no small task. Entire sectors had been devastated, their populations displaced or annihilated. The trauma of the war lingered, leaving scars not only on the physical landscape, but on the collective psyche of the galaxy's inhabitants. The destruction of Coruscant, though eventually reversed, had shaken the perception of invincibility that surrounded the galactic capital. In its stead, a more cautious, introspective galaxy emerged. The Chiss, always meticulous in their planning, saw this as an opportunity to solidify their influence while maintaining their autonomy. They recognized that, despite their withdrawal, their survival and prosperity were intrinsically tied to the stability of the galaxy at large. To that end, they continued to cultivate alliances, though on their own terms. They worked closely with the Galactic Alliance's intelligence apparatus, sharing insights and coordinating on operations that benefited both parties. Meanwhile, the Jedi Order, having endured the war's harrowing trials, sought to redefine its role in this new era. Under Luke Skywalker's guidance, the Order embraced a broader interpretation of the Force, one that acknowledged the complexity and interconnectedness of all life. This evolution was not without its challenges. Some within the Order, particularly those who had been deeply scarred by the war, struggled to reconcile their experiences with this more holistic philosophy. Others, like Jacen Solo, ventured into uncharted territories of the Force, seeking to uncover deeper truths that could prevent future conflicts of such magnitude. The Yuuzhan Vong themselves underwent a profound transformation. Their relocation to Zonama Sakat, a living world attuned to the Force in a way that was both alien and familiar, offered them a chance at redemption. Under the planet's guidance, they began to rebuild their society, casting aside the violent dogma that had driven their invasion. This process was fraught with challenges, as centuries of cultural and religious indoctrination were not easily undone. Yet the Yuuzhan Vong's journey toward redemption stood as a testament to the galaxy's capacity for renewal. For the Chiss, the Yuuzhan Vong War reinforced the importance of maintaining vigilance against external threats. Their strategic position in the unknown regions made them the first line of defense against incursions from beyond the galaxy's borders. In the years following the war, they intensified their efforts to map and monitor the vast, uncharted territories surrounding their domain. This expansion of their surveillance capabilities was not driven by a desire for conquest, but by a pragmatic understanding of the dangers that lay in wait. The unknown regions, a labyrinth of stellar phenomena, rogue planets, and hidden civilizations, remained a mystery to most of the galaxy. Yet for the Chiss, it was their home and their fortress. Over the years, they encountered a variety of new threats, some of which bore unsettling similarities to the Yuuzhan Vong. These encounters reaffirmed their commitment to preemptive action and strategic isolation. Despite their insular tendencies, the Chiss could not ignore the shifting dynamics of the galaxy. The rise of new powers, the resurgence of old rivalries, and the ongoing evolution of the Jedi Order all presented both opportunities and challenges. The Chiss navigated these waters with their characteristic caution and precision, ensuring that their interests were protected without drawing unnecessary attention. The legacy of the Yuuzhan Vong War also influenced the Galactic Alliance's approach to governance and defense. The Alliance recognized that traditional methods of warfare and diplomacy were insufficient against unconventional threats. As a result, they invested heavily in the development of new technologies and the training of special forces capable of responding to crises with speed and efficiency. The lessons learned from the Chiss, particularly their emphasis on intelligence gathering and preemptive action, became integral to the Alliance's strategic doctrine. The Jedi, too, adapted their training and philosophy to reflect the realities of a post-Yuuzhan Vong galaxy. They placed greater emphasis on understanding and mediating conflicts before they escalated into full-scale wars. This proactive approach often brought them into alignment with the Chiss, whose expansionary defense doctrine mirrored the Jedi's commitment to maintaining peace through vigilance. As the galaxy entered a period of relative stability, the Chiss continued to play a quiet yet pivotal role in shaping its destiny. They acted as a bulwark against the unknown, their presence a reminder that the galaxy's security depended not only on the strength of its armies, but on the foresight and discipline of its guardians. The Chiss Ascendancy, though distant and enigmatic, stood as a testament to the enduring power of strategic acumen and cultural resilience. Their interactions with the Jedi, the Galactic Alliance, and other galactic powers highlighted the importance of cooperation and mutual respect in the face of existential threats. The Yuuzhan Vong War, with all its devastation, had ultimately forged a stronger, more interconnected galaxy. The Chiss, as both observers and participants, had played a crucial role in this transformation, their actions guided by a deep understanding of the delicate balance between isolation and engagement. In the years to come, the galaxy would face new challenges and crises, each testing the limits of its unity and resolve. Yet the lessons of the Yuuzhan Vong War and the contributions of the Chiss Ascendancy would remain a guiding light. They served as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the galaxy's diverse civilizations could come together to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. The Chiss Ascendancy's story, intertwined with the fate of the galaxy, exemplifies the enduring struggle for survival and stability in an ever-changing universe. Their legacy, shaped by their unique perspective and unwavering commitment to their principles, continues to inspire and inform the ongoing saga of the Star Wars expanded universe. Through their vigilance and wisdom, they ensure that the unknown regions remain not just a frontier of mystery, but a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the Chiss people. The post-Yuuzhan Vong galaxy gradually settled into an era of reconstruction and reflection, yet the scars of the war were indelible. Entire systems lay in ruins, and the Galactic Alliance, the Jedi Order, and countless other organizations had to navigate the complex task of rebuilding not just infrastructure, but also the trust and unity of a galaxy that had been brought to the brink of annihilation. Amid this fragile recovery, the Chiss Ascendancy continued to safeguard the unknown regions, maintaining their vigilance and preparing for the possibility of future threats. The Chiss, always strategic in their operations, saw the value in maintaining discreet yet firm relationships with key players in the galaxy. They understood that their survival depended on both their autonomy and their ability to influence events beyond their borders without becoming embroiled in the political chaos of the core worlds. Their presence in galactic affairs remained subtle, often working through intermediaries or covert channels, but their impact was undeniable. In the years following the Yuuzhan Vong War, the Chiss expanded their influence within the unknown regions. They fortified their borders, established new outposts, and continued their explorations into uncharted territories. These efforts were not driven by expansionist ambitions, but by the need to gather intelligence and identify potential threats before they could manifest. Their military doctrine of expansionary defense remained central to their operations, emphasizing preemptive action and strategic containment. The unknown regions, a vast expanse filled with hidden dangers and mysteries, provided ample challenges for the Chiss. Their navigational prowess and advanced technology allowed them to traverse these hazardous areas with relative ease, but the dangers they encountered were often beyond the comprehension of even their sophisticated society. Rogue fleets, ancient superweapons, and remnants of civilizations long forgotten all posed significant challenges. Yet the Chiss faced these threats with their characteristic discipline and adaptability. Among the most significant developments during this time was the emergence of new factions and players within the unknown regions. The collapse of the Yuuzhan Vong's extragalactic empire left a power vacuum that various groups sought to exploit. Some were remnants of the Vong themselves, splinter factions that rejected the peaceful path offered by Saga. Others were entirely new entities, including aggressive warlords, pirate empires, and even remnants of ancient Sith cults that had long hidden in the shadows of the galaxy. The Chiss, understanding the importance of neutralizing these threats before they could grow, engaged in a series of covert operations. Their tactics were precise and methodical, involving surgical strikes, intelligence gathering, and the manipulation of rival factions to weaken them from within. This period saw the Chiss further hone their expertise in asymmetrical warfare, leveraging their technological and strategic superiority to maintain stability in their domain. One of the more intriguing aspects of this era was the continued evolution of the Jedi Order's relationship with the Chiss. Luke Skywalker, always a seeker of knowledge and understanding, recognized the value of the Chiss perspective. He sought to deepen the alliance between the Jedi and the Ascendancy, believing that their combined strengths could serve as a bulwark against future threats. This partnership, though sometimes fraught with tension, proved mutually beneficial. The Chiss, for their part, respected the Jedi's commitment to peace and balance, even if they did not fully share their spiritual outlook. They valued the Jedi's combat prowess and their ability to sense disturbances in the Force, which often provided early warnings of impending danger. Joint operations between the two groups became more common, with Jedi accompanying Chiss forces on missions into particularly perilous regions of space. However, this collaboration was not without its challenges. The Chiss, ever wary of external influences, maintained strict control over the terms of their cooperation. They allowed the Jedi access only to certain parts of their territory and kept their most sensitive operations shrouded in secrecy. This cautious approach sometimes frustrated the Jedi, who were accustomed to more open alliances. Yet both sides understood the importance of their partnership and worked to maintain it despite their differences. Amid these developments, the legacy of the Yuuzhan Vong War continued to influence the galaxy's political and cultural landscape. The Galactic Alliance, though relatively stable, faced internal divisions and external pressures. Some factions viewed the Chiss with suspicion, questioning their motives and their decision to remain largely aloof during the early stages of the war. Others saw them as indispensable allies, whose unique capabilities were vital to the galaxy's long-term security. The Yuuzhan Vong themselves, now largely isolated on Zonama Sakat, underwent a profound transformation. Under the guidance of the living planet, they sought to atone for their past actions and rebuild their society along more harmonious lines. This process was fraught with difficulty, as many among their number struggled to reconcile their violent history with the peaceful path offered by Sakat. Nevertheless, their efforts represented a beacon of hope in a galaxy that had seen far too much destruction. For the Chiss, the lessons of the war underscored the importance of vigilance and preparedness. They continued to refine their military and intelligence apparatus, ensuring that they would be ready to face any future threats. Their leadership, guided by the 9 ruling families, maintained a delicate balance between tradition and innovation, adapting to the changing dynamics of the galaxy without compromising their core principles. As the galaxy moved further from the immediate aftermath of the Yuuzhan Vong War, new challenges began to emerge. The Sith, thought to be extinct, began to resurface in various forms, their influence spreading insidiously across the galaxy. The Galactic Alliance faced increasing pressure from both internal dissent and external threats, including rogue Imperial factions that refused to accept the new Galactic Order. In this context, the role of the Chiss Ascendancy became even more critical. The Chiss, with their unparalleled knowledge of the unknown regions, were uniquely positioned to monitor and counter these emerging threats. Their continued collaboration with the Jedi Order and the Galactic Alliance helped to maintain a tenuous balance, even as the galaxy teetered on the edge of a new era of conflict. Through their actions, they demonstrated the enduring power of strategic foresight and the importance of maintaining a strong, disciplined presence in the face of uncertainty. The Chiss Ascendancy, often operating in the shadows, exemplified the resilience and adaptability needed to navigate the complexities of the galaxy. Their role in the Yuuzhan Vong War and its aftermath highlighted the value of unity and cooperation, even among civilizations with vastly different perspectives and goals. As the galaxy continued to evolve, the Chiss remained a vital force, their presence a reminder that even in the most remote and dangerous corners of the universe, there existed a steadfast commitment to order and stability. The Chiss Ascendancy and the Imperial Remnant played crucial roles during the Yuuzhan Vong War, each contributing their unique strengths to the galactic defense against an unprecedented extragalactic threat. Their involvement, though distinct in motivation and methodology, was instrumental in shaping the course of the conflict and ensuring the survival of the galaxy. Both factions, driven by a mix of pragmatism, strategic foresight, and a desire for self-preservation, provided critical support to the Galactic Alliance and other allied forces. The Chiss Ascendancy, as guardians of the unknown regions, were among the first to encounter the Yuuzhan Vong. Their early skirmishes and reconnaissance missions provided invaluable intelligence on the invaders' biological technology and unconventional tactics. The Chiss doctrine of expansionary defense, which emphasized preemptive strikes and strategic containment, enabled them to engage the Yuuzhan Vong in a calculated manner, avoiding direct confrontations when unnecessary while targeting key assets to disrupt the invaders' operations. The Chiss military, particularly their expansionary fleet, demonstrated a level of precision and discipline that set them apart from other galactic powers. Their fleets were smaller but more efficient, relying on advanced technology and superior tactics. Their use of force-sensitive navigators, the Skywalkers, allowed them to traverse the hazardous territories of the unknown regions with ease, granting them a strategic advantage in maneuvering and deploying their forces. These navigators, young Chiss with latent force abilities, were critical in navigating the unpredictable hyperspace routes and maintaining supply lines. On the other hand, the Imperial Remnant, under the leadership of Grand Admiral Gilad Pellaeon, brought a different but equally important set of strengths to the war effort. The Imperial Remnant, despite being a shadow of the once mighty Galactic Empire, still commanded a formidable military force, including star destroyers and highly disciplined stormtroopers. Pellaeon, a seasoned tactician and statesman, recognized the existential threat posed by the Yuuzhan Vong and the need for unity among the galaxy's factions. Pellaeon's decision to ally with the Galactic Alliance marked a turning point in the war. Despite the historical animosity between the Empire and the New Republic, Pellaeon saw the necessity of cooperation in the face of a common enemy. This pragmatic alliance allowed the Imperial Remnant to bring its military might to bear against the Yuuzhan Vong, significantly bolstering the Alliance's forces. The Imperial Navy's heavy firepower and disciplined command structure played a crucial role in several key battles, including the defense of key systems and the eventual liberation of Coruscant. The Chiss and the Imperial Remnant, though operating from different strategic positions, found themselves aligned in their objectives. Both factions prioritized the stability and survival of the galaxy, understanding that the Yuuzhan Vong's conquest would threaten their existence as well. Their cooperation, while not without friction, was a testament to their shared commitment to the greater good. This alignment was facilitated in part by their shared history through figures like Thrawn, whose legacy as a Chiss officer, serving the Empire, bridged the gap between their cultures. Throughout the war, the Chiss and Imperial Remnant worked in tandem with the Galactic Alliance and the Jedi Order. The Chiss provided critical intelligence and conducted surgical strikes against Yuuzhan Vong outposts in the unknown regions, disrupting supply lines and forcing the invaders to divert resources. Meanwhile, the Imperial Remnant contributed its fleet to major engagements, leveraging its tactical expertise and firepower to tip the scales in favor of the Alliance. One of the defining moments of this collaboration came during the Battle of Borosk, where the combined forces of the Chiss, Imperial Remnant, and Galactic Alliance successfully repelled a major Yuuzhan Vong assault. This battle showcased the strategic synergy between these factions. The Chiss provided early warning and reconnaissance. The Imperial Remnant held the line with their formidable fleet, and the Alliance coordinated the overall strategy. The victory at Borosk not only demonstrated the effectiveness of their alliance but also boosted morale across the galaxy. The Chiss and Imperial Remnant's contributions extended beyond the battlefield. Both factions provided logistical support, supplying vital resources and expertise to the war effort. The Chiss, with their advanced understanding of biological and technological systems, helped develop countermeasures against the Yuuzhan Vong's living weapons. Their scientists worked alongside Alliance researchers to study captured Vong technology, uncovering weaknesses that could be exploited in combat. The Imperial Remnant, drawing on its extensive infrastructure and industrial capacity, played a key role in the production of war material. Despite their reduced territory, the Empire's remnants retained efficient shipyards and factories capable of producing ships, weapons, and other supplies at a scale unmatched by many other factions. Pellaeon's leadership ensured that these resources were deployed effectively, prioritizing the most critical theaters of war. The alliance between the Chiss, Imperial Remnant, and the Galactic Alliance was not without its challenges. Differences in ideology, strategy, and cultural norms occasionally led to tensions and disagreements. The Chiss, with their emphasis on precision and caution, sometimes clashed with the more aggressive tactics favored by Imperial commanders. Similarly, the Imperial Remnant's rigid hierarchy and authoritarian tendencies occasionally conflicted with the more democratic and decentralized approach of the Alliance. Despite these challenges, the shared goal of defeating the Yuuzhan Vong provided a unifying force that overcame these divisions. Both the Chiss and Imperial Remnant recognized the importance of maintaining a united front and worked tirelessly to ensure the success of their alliance. Their efforts culminated in the final battles of the war, where their combined strength played a decisive role in defeating the Yuuzhan Vong and restoring peace to the galaxy. In the aftermath of the war, the contributions of the Chiss Ascendancy and Imperial Remnant were widely acknowledged, even if their roles were often overshadowed by the more visible efforts of the Galactic Alliance and Jedi Order. The Chiss returned to their territories in the unknown regions, continuing their mission of vigilance and defense. The Imperial Remnant, under Pellaeon's leadership, sought to rebuild and redefine its place in the galaxy, transitioning from a remnant of the old empire to a respected and integral part of the new galactic order. Their actions during the Yuuzhan Vong War left an indelible mark on the galaxy, proving that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, unity and cooperation could prevail. The Chiss and Imperial Remnant, each with their unique strengths and perspectives, demonstrated the power of strategic alliances and the importance of standing together against common threats. Their legacy would continue to shape the galaxy's future, serving as a reminder of the critical role they played in one of its darkest hours. As the Yuuzhan Vong War reached its most intense phases, the collaboration between the Chiss Ascendancy, the Imperial Remnant, and the Galactic Alliance became even more crucial. Each faction brought its unique strengths to bear, compensating for one another's weaknesses and ensuring the survival of the galaxy in a conflict that tested every resource and strategy at their disposal. The role of these two powers, rooted in discipline, strategy, and resilience, was pivotal in turning the tide of a war that seemed, at times, unwinnable. The Chiss Ascendancy, while maintaining their characteristic autonomy, became more integrated into the galactic response as the Yuuzhan Vong's incursions into the unknown regions increased. The Chiss had early experience with the Vong's tactics and technology, having encountered their scouts and forward units even before the war's broader outbreak. This familiarity gave the Chiss a strategic edge in understanding the invaders' operational patterns. They were instrumental in uncovering the Vong's preference for psychological warfare and their strategic use of terraforming, which aimed to reshape captured worlds into biotechnological fortresses. The Chiss deployed their expansionary fleet in critical, high-risk missions that involved deep penetration into Yuuzhan Vong-controlled space. These missions were aimed at disrupting Vong supply lines, sabotaging their cloning and biotissue production facilities, and gathering intelligence on their fleet movements. While the Chiss typically avoided large-scale engagements unless necessary, their ability to strike swiftly and decisively gave the Galactic Alliance much-needed breathing room, forcing the Yuuzhan Vong to spread their forces thinner than they had anticipated. The Imperial Remnant, under the capable leadership of Grand Admiral Gilad Pellaeon, brought a different kind of strength to the war. Pellaeon's decision to formally ally with the Galactic Alliance was historic, signifying the culmination of a gradual shift from adversary to partner. The Imperial fleet, though no longer as vast as it had been during the height of the Empire, was still a formidable force. The disciplined ranks of the Remnant's military were well suited to the prolonged and grueling nature of the Yuuzhan Vong conflict. The Remnant's contributions were particularly felt in major naval engagements. Imperial fleets, equipped with their iconic Star Destroyers and advanced TIE variants, were deployed to critical sectors under siege by the Yuuzhan Vong. Their heavy firepower and superior fleet coordination were instrumental in holding key systems such as Bastion and Ord Mantell. Pellaeon's leadership style, which balanced pragmatism with a deep understanding of military strategy, allowed the Remnant to achieve victories in battles where the odds seemed overwhelmingly against them. One of the most notable joint operations involving the Chiss, the Imperial Remnant, and the Galactic Alliance was the defense of the strategic system of Mon Calamari. The Yuuzhan Vong, seeking to cripple the Alliance's shipbuilding capabilities, launched a massive assault on the system. In response, the Galactic Alliance called upon its allies to mount a desperate defense. The Imperial Remnant's fleet, led personally by Pellaeon, formed the backbone of the defensive line, while Chiss forces provided critical support by attacking the Vong's rear positions and supply convoys. The battle was one of the largest of the war, with massive fleets clashing in the space around Mon Calamari. The Imperial fleet's heavy firepower and disciplined formations played a key role in holding the line against wave after wave of Vong warships. Meanwhile, Chiss strike teams infiltrated the Vong's command ships, using their advanced stealth technology to carry out sabotage operations that sowed confusion and chaos within the enemy ranks. This coordination between factions, along with the tireless efforts of the Mon Calamari shipyards in repairing and fielding ships even during the battle, ultimately resulted in a hard-fought victory. The Chiss and Imperial Remnant also made significant contributions to the development of countermeasures against the Yuuzhan Vong's unique biotechnology. Chiss scientists, working alongside researchers from the Alliance and Imperial sectors, focused on analyzing the Vong's living weapons and developing ways to neutralize them. They created specialized warheads and other devices designed to disrupt the bioorganic systems of Vong ships and ground forces. The Imperials, with their advanced industrial capabilities, quickly produced and deployed these new technologies, giving the Alliance forces a critical edge in the latter stages of the war. Despite their differences, the Chiss and the Imperial Remnant also collaborated closely on intelligence operations. The Chiss, with their extensive knowledge of the unknown regions and advanced reconnaissance capabilities, often provided the initial data for joint missions. The Imperial Remnant's disciplined and resourceful intelligence operatives then expanded on this information, identifying key targets and coordinating complex multi-faction operations. These efforts culminated in several successful missions that disrupted Vong command structures and supply chains. A critical turning point came with the liberation of Coruscant. This operation, codenamed Operation Unity, was a massive, coordinated effort involving all major galactic factions. The Chiss played a crucial role in providing intelligence on the Vong's defenses and weaknesses within the system, while the Imperial Remnant contributed a significant portion of the assault fleet. The battle was one of the most grueling and strategically complex of the war, with the combined forces facing entrenched Vong positions that had turned the capital world into a grotesque parody of its former self. Victory was achieved through a combination of brute force, tactical ingenuity, and the unbreakable resolve of the Allied forces. The Chiss and Imperial Remnant emerged from the battle with a newfound respect for each other's capabilities, having fought side by side in one of the most pivotal moments in galactic history. The war's conclusion left both the Chiss Ascendancy and the Imperial Remnant in a stronger position. The Chiss, having demonstrated their value as allies and their strategic importance in the unknown regions, solidified their role as the galaxy's first line of defense against extragalactic threats. The Imperial Remnant, under Pellaeon's continued leadership, transitioned into a key partner within the Galactic Alliance framework, gaining a new lease on life and a chance to redefine their legacy. Together, these two factions illustrated the power of strategic alliances and the importance of adaptability in the face of overwhelming odds. Their contributions not only helped bring about the defeat of the Yuuzhan Vong, but also laid the foundation for a more united and resilient galaxy, ready to face whatever challenges the future might hold. Luke Skywalker, the Jedi Order, and the Chiss Ascendancy were instrumental in the ultimate downfall of the Yuuzhan Vong. Each brought unique strengths, perspectives, and strategies to the table, working alongside the Galactic Alliance and the Imperial Remnant to achieve what initially seemed impossible, the defeat of an extragalactic force that had ravaged the galaxy and brought it to its knees. The convergence of these powers, with Luke as a unifying figure, marked one of the most pivotal and transformative moments in galactic history. Luke Skywalker, as the Grand Master of the re-established Jedi Order, played a central role in guiding the galaxy's response to the Yuuzhan Vong invasion. From the outset, the Jedi were at the forefront of the conflict, though they faced unique challenges when dealing with an enemy entirely absent from the Force. The Vong's biological technology and their disdain for the galaxy's technological reliance made them a different kind of foe, one that required new tactics, new understanding, and a rethinking of what it meant to fight for the light. The Jedi Order, under Luke's leadership, adapted quickly. Recognizing that traditional Jedi methods were insufficient, Luke encouraged his knights to explore the Force in new ways. This exploration eventually led to the discovery of the unifying Force, a concept that brought balance and clarity to the Jedi's understanding of the conflict. The unifying Force allowed the Jedi to perceive the galaxy in a more holistic manner, helping them bridge the gap between the living Force and the seemingly void presence of the Yuuzhan Vong. Luke himself embodied this philosophy, using his deep connection to the Force to guide not only his Jedi but also the galaxy's leaders. Luke was not alone in this endeavor. The Chiss Ascendancy, with their unique strategic capabilities and knowledge of the unknown regions, became indispensable allies. While the Jedi Order worked to understand the Vong on a spiritual and tactical level, the Chiss provided crucial intelligence and military support. Their early encounters with the Vong in the unknown regions had already given them a head start in understanding the enemy's tactics. The Chiss Expansionary Defense Fleet, with its advanced technology and precise military doctrine, was able to engage the Vong in ways that other galactic forces could not. The Chiss, led by figures such as Admiral Alani, became key players in the war's major operations. Their calculated strikes against Yuuzhan Vong strongholds disrupted the invaders' supply lines and forced them to divert resources, weakening their grip on critical systems. The Chiss also shared their extensive knowledge of the unknown regions, helping the Galactic Alliance and the Jedi navigate this treacherous expanse and uncover hidden Vong bases. The synergy between Luke Skywalker and the Chiss was further strengthened by their shared commitment to a pragmatic, strategic approach. While Luke provided the moral and philosophical guidance needed to maintain unity and focus, the Chiss offered the hard-nosed military expertise that ensured those ideals could be defended. This collaboration was most evident during pivotal campaigns such as the Battle of Ebak 9, where the combined efforts of the Galactic Alliance, Jedi, and Chiss dealt a significant blow to the Yuuzhan fleet. The downfall of the Yuuzhan Vong, however, was not achieved through military might alone. It required a deeper understanding of the enemy's culture and motivations, an effort spearheaded by key individuals like Jacen Solo, Jaina Solo, and other prominent Jedi. Jacen, in particular, embarked on a transformative journey during the war. His capture and subsequent experiences with the Yuuzhan Vong allowed him to gain insights into their religious beliefs and societal structure. This understanding proved invaluable in the later stages of the conflict, as Jacen played a crucial role in convincing the Vong leadership to seek an alternative to endless war. Meanwhile, Jaina Solo, known as the Sword of the Jedi, became a symbol of hope and resilience. Her exceptional piloting skills and combat prowess were matched only by her determination to protect the galaxy. She led numerous critical missions, including the final assault on Coruscant, where the Vong had attempted to reshape the galaxy's capital into a grotesque reflection of their homeworld, Yuuzhan Tar. Jaina's leadership and bravery inspired those around her, rallying the galactic forces during some of the war's darkest moments. The Jedi and the Chiss were not the only players in the downfall of the Yuuzhan Vong. The Imperial Remnant, under the steady hand of Grand Admiral Gilad Pellaeon, brought their considerable military might to bear. Pellaeon, recognizing the existential threat posed by the Vong, set aside old rivalries and forged a pragmatic alliance with the Galactic Alliance. The Imperial fleet's heavy firepower and disciplined tactics played a critical role in key battles, helping to hold the line against Vong incursions and buying time for the Jedi and their allies to strike at the enemy's heart. The culmination of these efforts came with the discovery and deployment of Zonama Sakat, a living, sentient planet deeply connected to the Force. Zonama Sakat held a unique place in the galaxy's history, having once been touched by the Yuuzhan Vong during their early explorations. It represented both a link to their past and a potential path to redemption. Luke Skywalker and Jacen Solo, recognizing the significance of Zonama Sakat, sought to bring the planet into the conflict as a force for peace. Zonama Sakat's arrival in the galaxy was a turning point. Its immense power and connection to the Force not only provided a formidable ally in the final battles, but also served as a catalyst for a shift in the Vong's perspective. Through their interactions with the planet, the Yuuzhan Vong began to see a path forward that did not involve conquest and destruction. The intervention of Zonama Sakat, combined with the relentless efforts of the Jedi and their allies, ultimately led to the surrender of the Yuuzhan Vong and the end of their invasion. In the final days of the war, Luke Skywalker stood as a symbol of unity and resilience. His leadership, bolstered by the contributions of the Jedi, the Chiss, the Imperial Remnant, and countless others, had guided the galaxy through one of its greatest trials. The Yuuzhan Vong were defeated not through brute force alone, but through understanding, cooperation, and the unyielding spirit of those who fought to preserve the galaxy's future. The aftermath of the war saw the galaxy begin the long process of healing and rebuilding. The Chiss Ascendancy returned to their territories, ever vigilant against future threats. The Jedi Order, now stronger and more unified than ever, continued their mission of safeguarding peace and balance. The Imperial Remnant, having played a crucial role in the war, found a new place within the Galactic Order as respected allies. Together, these factions ensured that the hard-won peace would endure, standing as a testament to the power of unity in the face of unimaginable adversity. The Yuuzhan Vong War brought the galaxy to the brink of annihilation, and its resolution revealed a chilling truth: the Vong had been the lurking threat in the unknown regions for thousands of years. Their long journey, beginning in a galaxy far removed from the one they sought to conquer, was marked by a history of destruction, exile, and relentless pursuit of a new home. For millennia, they had been an invisible force, building their strength and biding their time in the shadows of the unknown regions, a realm already feared for its mysteries and dangers. The Chiss Ascendancy had long suspected that the unknown regions harbored significant threats, and their vigilance proved justified when the Vong finally emerged. Their early skirmishes with Vong scouts and forward operatives were more than isolated incidents. They were the first signs of a storm that had been brewing for centuries. The Chiss, with their defensive philosophy and deep knowledge of the unknown regions, had always been the galaxy's first line of defense against these hidden dangers, but even they could not fully comprehend the magnitude of the threat until it was upon them. The Vong's absence from the Force only deepened their enigma. They were a civilization so utterly removed from the natural currents of the galaxy that even the Jedi, the traditional guardians against such threats, were initially powerless to detect or counter them. This unique characteristic made them the perfect infiltrators, allowing them to prepare for their invasion without detection. Their mastery of bioengineering and their fanatical devotion to their gods enabled them to reshape entire worlds and armies, setting the stage for a conflict unlike any the galaxy had faced. The Yuuzhan Vong's arrival was not a sudden catastrophe, but the culmination of thousands of years of preparation and migration. They had scouted the galaxy, identified its weaknesses, and laid the groundwork for their eventual conquest. When they finally launched their full-scale invasion, it was with the confidence of a species that had meticulously planned every move, believing their destiny was to dominate and transform the galaxy into a reflection of their own warped vision. However, the galaxy's response, led by the unlikely alliance of the Chiss Ascendancy, the Jedi Order, the Galactic Alliance, and the Imperial Remnant, proved that even the most well-prepared invaders could be thwarted by unity, resilience, and understanding. The downfall of the Yuuzhan Vong was not simply a military victory, but a triumph of diverse civilizations working together to confront a shared existential threat. The revelation that the Vong had been lurking in the unknown regions for so long added a new layer of significance to the war's outcome. It underscored the importance of vigilance and the need for continued exploration and monitoring of the galaxy's uncharted territories. The Chiss, in particular, emerged as key guardians of this frontier, their role validated by their early warnings and decisive contributions during the war. The Vong's defeat also left an enduring legacy of unity. The galaxy, which had often been divided by political, cultural, and ideological differences, discovered the strength that came from collaboration. The war was a harsh lesson, but one that ensured future generations would remember the value of standing together against threats that could arise from the most unexpected places. In the end, the Yuuzhan Vong War served as both a conclusion to an ancient threat and a reminder of the galaxy's fragility. The unknown regions, once a mysterious frontier, were revealed to be a crucible for challenges that could shape the galaxy's destiny. The Vong, a specter haunting the galaxy for millennia, were finally vanquished, but their story left an indelible mark on history, a testament to the enduring struggle between survival and annihilation that defines the Star Wars universe.